Okay, I'm going to do the antiquing now. As was pointed out before, some of this leaked into underneath my painter's tape. I think it's because I didn't get it pushed down good enough. I thought I did, but I obviously didn't, and it leaked through. But I think it's going to be okay with the antiquing because of what the antiquing does. So I always try to reuse my gloves, so I'll get my gloves on real quick and everything like that. Okay, starting over. I'm going to do one up, and then I'll do the other one off camera, but I'm going to do antiquing. Now, some of it kind of bled through. I think I didn't get the tape pushed all the way down when I did the masking tape. This one definitely looks better than this one for that. But I think with the antiquing, that's not going to be a problem. I don't think that's going to show up at all whatsoever. I did moisturize it after I did this dye job, just because I do use a alcohol-based dye, and it's going to dry out the leather, of course. So I have done a shot of carnauba oil on it, just to get moisture back into it. So I always reuse my old gloves and try to use them as much as possible, just a way to save money. So we'll get that on right now after this. Okay, look at that. The gloves are on. Wow, awesome. So, I always try to reuse daubers. This one might actually be pretty much used up, but so we're going to do antiquing here. One of the things I'm going to have to do for this, though, is I'm going to go ahead and throw tape on the edges here, just so that I don't get any antiquing onto the darker part. I don't think it'll be that much of a problem, but we'll do it just in case. I'm going to stop right at where the scratches here are, though, because I don't need to antique this part, but I will need to antique down here, because when that cover goes on, you'll see it through there, and I want that to show up through there, so I'm going to definitely need that on there. So we'll go ahead and throw that tape on, and it should be on right after this. And it's taped. Alright, antique gel, from what I've used it in the past, is a paste. You put it on there, you let it sit for a little bit, and then you take off. It even says, apply antique finish by wiping it out heavily in a circular motion. Remove excess immediately. Clear the raised portions. Leave the accumulation of paste in the perforations and depressed areas. So basically, it's really going to dye the deep areas. That's why I cut in and I used a spoon to carve that. But the top part, it's really not going to do a lot too. It does say use in a circular motion. Now I think I pushed all this tape down really good. I don't think I'm going to have too much of a problem getting underneath. Some other things I could have done is when I did that edging, so it wouldn't done that, is maybe used a paintbrush and then just paint it on there also. I'm thinking that could have helped, but we'll do this up now. We'll get this antique going. And it's a thick paste, so it says to do thick, which I kind of am, kind of working it down too. As I go. So that really gives you an idea of how that looks and how that's going to go. So I'm going to use a lot of this excess since you got to wipe it off anyways. I'm going to bring it down too. Kind of want it to cover that top edge too a little bit. Get it a little darker than what it normally, than just the raw leather there. Now granted, raw leather, after it ages, will darken up without you doing anything. Just normal wear and tear as you add your oils and stuff on it to take care of it. It just darkens up, and the sun will darken it up and stuff like that. I want to get this a little, help it on its way getting darker. Right. See how it brings out, and then it'll bring out any imperfections too in that leather. The part in the leather that it's a scar of some sort, so that's going to show up. And that really gets that sticking out. In this area, I put like a little blessing for myself in runic, but I'm going to get that covered up too, because that's just for me. It's not for anything else, for looks or anything. So we'll do this one too. And I think I'm going to throw, after I get done with this, I'm going to throw some more, darken that a little bit more by throwing some more on it and then doing another coat real quick. It shouldn't take all that long to do coats. Make sure I get it all in there. Now the other thing I want to mention with these videos is, don't take this like this is how it does it, how you're supposed to do it and all that. I'm just learning leatherworking. A lot of this is just trial and error, and I'm learning. Right now, I'm not good enough to charge for my work, so a lot of it I do for myself or a friend asks. I've done a holster for myself, a holster for a friend, just to do it. Then that friend's also asked me to make a gun sling for one of his rifles that he works on, because he's a gunsmith. And so I'm going to make him a really nice sling. And then somebody else asked if I would make them a holster, and I made them, and that one turned, oh, that holster turned out beautiful. I wish it was made for my gun, but it's not. So that's what I'm doing and how I'm learning. This is the best way to do it. Just get in there, pull your sleeves up, and get your hands dirty. And we'll come through. I'll just do the same thing on this one. Then I'm definitely going to go through and I want to add a second coat. I think it's definitely going to need a second coat. That's just like the instructions told. You know, just rub it off as soon as you put it on. And that's antiquing. That really makes the ampersand and the Horde symbol and the TOMYSWANSON, that really made that stick out. I'm gonna put that. So we'll do another go at it, just because I want it just a little bit darker. Kind of seems like a waste though. You put all this on and then you wipe it off right away. So, but I really do like the way the antique look is. It's a nice look. Gives it that well-loved appearance almost. Definitely adds to the patina of the leather. Find if I get an area that's pretty clean here. There we go. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Just rub that in really good. Looks good. Actually, there's not much difference, but there is some difference between the one coat, two coat. So we'll finish this two coat up idea up. And we'll get that done. I don't know how long this video is going to be, since I figured I was only going to do the one, but I figured, okay, we'll do them both. And I'm not keeping any trade secrets from anybody. Like I said, I'm just a beginner. I'm not hiding anything. You know, I know there's people that like to hide things of their craft, so only they're the ones that do it. And I don't believe in that kind of stuff. You got to push yourself to be better. And if you're afraid somebody else is going to push you to be better using your techniques, well then maybe you need that push. I usually don't do these how-to videos either, just because, like I said, I'm just learning. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, maybe I'm not. If I am, and you see this video, comment But we'll see. That looks pretty good. Got it all covered. We'll just cool wipe. Now, what's definitely down in those creased areas, I'm going to let sit. You can see there's wet dye in there. I think I'm going to let that sit just so it really darkens that up. Because it did say take a ruler and just kind of scrape it along. I didn't do that, but it did. It's kind of cool because on the grain side here, it really brings out that grain. You can see the grain of the animal. It really comes out. The defects in the skin and stuff, that's really cool. So I'm going to leave this just the way it is right now and just do like a little cleanup. Kind of nice. I only used 2 paper towels. I thought I was going to use more than that. I'm kind of proud of myself. Only 2 paper towels. Woo-hoo! I'm going to clean this up really good. I'm going to run it underneath some water and clean it up. I use one more just to clean up the gloves as much as possible too. Like I said, I like reusing these gloves just because they're not a dime a dozen. And the more uses I get out of them, the better of a price I really paid for them. Same with these daubers. The better I get them cleaned up and the more times I use them, better of a price I actually paid for the things. So I'm going to leave you guys at that. And I'm going to pull off that tape later after it's dried and it's set in pretty good. I'm liking the way everything looks. Where the bleed in from this outside dark brown, it didn't cover up as much as I thought it was going to. We'll see how it looks though. I still think I'm going to use this. I'm not going to cut out 2 more pieces just to do finish this all up. But I got it. That's how it's going to be. I'm happy so far. I wish I could do better, but like I said, I'm learning. First time I've ever done a scabbard, and I think this is coming out pretty nice for the most part. I think this is going to be really cool with that rabbit fur. It's going to give it the Viking look I'm looking for. It's going to really pop everything out. I think the frog that I'm going to add to it's going to be really nice too, and the overall look is going to be great. So I'm going to cut this video here. Like and subscribe to my videos if you like them. Heck, if you want to just build along with me and learn, I mean, we can learn together. Cool. But have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, guys, this is where I got so far. I got the leather glued on. I got the stiffener glued on. It's also sewn on, if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it there. It's sewn on up here too. So I got those all sewn on. It's dyed, and I think that's the last video you guys are watched in this series. It's also painted. Get up in there. I used the red like I had said, and then I even raised, if you could see it, I don't know if you could see it on here, I raised the Horde symbol a little bit to give it more of a 3D detail. So that's what it all looks like. It's got my name in it in runic. And I kind of wanted to do a freehand so it looked more kind of like archaic instead of everything all perfect and 1 inch. They're all about 1 inch tall, but I mean, it doesn't really kind of go all in a straight line. I kind of want to give it more of a barbaric look at it. So that's what I got with that. And that's all done. Never done the painting before of leather. Well, most of the stuff I haven't done before. So I checked on a website and they said to use a resist, then thin out your paint and paint on that, then paint your what you want to paint out, and then put a resist over the top of it. So that's exactly what I did. So that's why it's got this shiny look right here. I did the resist on the back, then I painted it all in, and then also like the Horde symbols all painted in. And to give it that outline look is from the antiquing to also make this really pop out and stand out. So in all, there we go. That's what the whole thing's going to look like. It'll probably be more at an angle like this when it's actually worn on the frog. So that's what it's all looked like. I really liked how this came out. I definitely need more practicing at carving. I don't know if you could see it all that well, but you could see the dragon head, the dragon tail, and the flame coming around. I was really nervous at all this because of what I had all planned. So I did make a mistake here on this one. If you notice, the part that comes up here, totally forgot to carve that into the leather. But I got everything else. You got the head blowing the flame, and you kind of got its body wrapped around. So I got some of it, but I still missed some of that body right there. And then there's a Horde symbol on that one. That one really kind of lifted up for that bump up, which is really cool. I like that effect. And then together, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Never done it before. I got really nervous. Tried really hard at the swivel knifing, which is a lot harder than what people make it look. So I got all that done, and it looks pretty good. I want to get it laced up and all that ready. And once it's laced up, it's done. All I need to do is make the frog for it, and then the belt for the frog. I got a design for the frog all laid up, so I got that pretty well covered too. But for this video, that's what I was going to show. It's the coloring and then all the staining. I had already talked about like where it came into there, but it kind of gives it a kind of a barbaric look, to be honest. This one has an area where it really got underneath the tape. But in the long run, from the far back, it gives it, I think it kind of gives it that more rustic look, to be honest. So that's where I'm at that. So the next video should be talking about glue up and lacing. But for this week, you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching my video series on the making the sheath. Thanks. Bye.